Hello, blessed soul family. I am the magical medium, and today we are celebrating the new moon in Sagittarius. And we say thank you to Scorpio. Say thank you to the Scorpio moon, the Scorpio energy. I'm just full of I feel like that one scene from the movie where she's like, I'm full of cross love. I forget which movie that was. Mandy Moore. But yeah, that's how I feel right now. Like when you get the time, look in the description box below. Obviously, you have to go to the description box below to get to your reading, but make sure you look in the research, look further section, because Spirit drew me to this really beautiful. It's from the Home Alone soundtrack, but it's anyway, it's beautiful. It's if you want to get some music to get you in the holiday mood, like maybe you're not there yet, I am imploring you to listen. It's like an hour long. Just put it on when you're driving, put it on while you're cooking, whatever. Just put it on in the background and just allow yourself to just be filled with this beautiful, spicy, loving holiday energy. I'm telling you right now, I am, I tell you guys all the time, I don't believe like the first day of the new moon. Some people are like, let's go at it, let's do this, let's do that. But I am energetically tied to the moon. So I can't just go boom, boom, like I'm not a light switch. My energy is not a light switch. And so it takes time for me to kind of move into each energy, to morph into the energy. Speaking of, we've got these 4 decks before you. Look at the energy deck. We're going to get to that in a second, but just a lot of cool things have been coming through from Spirit. So I just wanted to tell you that I love you and to hang in there. And I know that we have people from all over the world in our tribe, but for those of you who are going into the holiday season, if you're in America, you're already in the holiday season in real time. Today is Wednesday, November 23rd, 2022. It's the day before Thanksgiving. My beautiful husband is out in the universe right now doing stuff, getting stuff, and just last minute things. We try to not get anything, but the way we live, it's kind of hard because we have to have propane, we have to have water, and we only have so many vessels to hold it. But anyway, he'll be back soon. He went out early. But yeah, so I understand, the energy on the planet can be really, really intense. So, take the rest of November to chill, relax, no matter where you live, because even if you don't celebrate certain things, we're all connected. You're seeing it on social media, and in the movie theaters and things like that, whatever. It's everywhere because we are so divinely connected right now. So 258 is our angel number for Sagittarius season, which is also, what is that, 258. So that is 15 and the number 6. Ooh, interesting. We're coming to the close of 2022, which is the number 6, and we're going into 2023, which is the number 7. And I'm going to put down life path 7 for you guys. Also, always look in the description box below for more breadcrumbs, for more things. You don't have to, no pressure. It's just for you to expand on your consciousness and on your journey. If you're new here, welcome. And if you have found yourself here, look in my about section. That message is to you. And if you've been here a long time, but you haven't read the about section, go check out the about section. That message is to you. That's for all of us from Spirit, So we are here to work together to shift the planet. In the tarot, in my experience, number 7 is about hardship. So I think it's going to be an interesting year for 2023, but I want to tell you something. Those of you who've been walking with me a long time, you know that every year Spirit gives me words, a phrase, some type of mantra for the year. And we got it early this year. I don't remember if we've gotten it this early before, but our mantra for 2023 is set your soul free in 2023. And with that being said, this is our second to the last new moon in the Gregorian calendar year. We will have the new moon in Capricorn in December. But for now, we are focusing on the energy of Sagittarius. I will put some playful, fun words below in the description box for Sagittarius if you're not familiar with them. And those of you who know me know I'm a triple Sag. I'm a Sag. My birthday is December 13th. I'm a triple Sag, and my moon's in Scorpio. So I just came out of my moon. And my husband, his moon is in Sagittarius, so he's just going into his moon. So it's going to be a really blessed time for us and for all of us. I'm just feeling this really great energy. Um, a lot of my favorite readers have been saying the same thing, is that they just feel like this new moon in Sagittarius is going to be a breath of fresh air. It's just going to be really good. And I feel that too. I feel like we're finally coming out of that darkness. Scorpio can be very dark and very deep. And then, put on top of that, an eclipse season, wowie kazowie, that's a lot of energy. So I said to Spirit, I woke up and I was like, well, I've known we were going to do a pick a reading. I felt that for sure. Just because the new moons are all about new beginnings, right? But like I said earlier with the light switch moment, we don't just go from the moon in Scorpio to the moon in Sagittarius like that, right? Even that, it's like got to go slowly into each other. So remember that right now, the energy, we're in a transitional phase. We won't be in the taking action phase until we get into the waxing crescent, right? Well, actually, we'll be setting intentions in the waxing crescent, and it's in the first quarter mood that we really, really take those actions. And that's going to be at the end of this month. And, the really cool thing is we have 2 first quarter moons in the same month. I don't know if there's a name for that like they do with the other moons. I'll have to research that and I'll put it below. But yeah, really cool. The November 1st was the first quarter moon of the Scorpio moon, and now November 30th, which, well, he's not here anymore, but my stepdad, that's his birthday. Happy birthday, Pops, almost. And to our Sagittarians, happy birthday, fellow Sagittarians. We love you so much. Yeah, just a lot of really cool things are coming down the pipeline. I can feel it. And interestingly, I feel like this wants to move. Oh, isn't that interesting? I kept saying, did you notice the light was there? And they were saying no, and now they're saying yes. But yeah, so, to have the beginning of the month be a new moon, and then the last, day of the month, or excuse me, be a first quarter moon is cool because it's about taking action. So, I feel like until that time, I really want you guys to take it slow and take it easy and go with the flow as much as possible, okay? That is the message I'm getting from Spirit for this Sagittarius moon. Because, I like to do like a little reading for the tribe, for all of us in general, like the energies that I'm feeling. But then also, I like to dig a little deeper sometimes and go into these picker readings because they're going to be completely different. I mean, look at those decks. We've got the answer is simple, energy oracle, seasons of the witch. This is the Yule oracle. And then we have the oracle of the unicorns. And if you notice there, we have some feathers. Interestingly, that my feathered friends, 2 of my very dear friends, wanted to come through the day before Gratitude Day. Because no matter when you watch this, it's timeless. But don't forget that it's not about the turkey or the food or coming together with family. It's about gratitude. And you don't have to spend, quote unquote, Gratitude Day, Thanksgiving, Turkey Day. Some people call it, Holocaust Day. I don't mean to laugh like that. Like, some people nervous laugh. Like, I was just going to say, like, man, I've got some people who are like, they don't fuck around. Like, they don't celebrate Thanksgiving at all because they're like, it's fucking a Holocaust Day. Like, I'm not going to celebrate, for how what happened or whatever. So it's very personal. Some people, Thanksgiving is their favorite holiday. They love it. Interestingly enough, speaking of, we were talking about that in the history. So Sally Field was on, I love that show, Finding Your Roots. And if you haven't watched it, if you want something to binge watch, I'll try and find a really good episode for you guys, and I'll put it in the description box below. But I love that show. And when they had it on, Sally Field found out that her family were literally like one of the original families that were on the Mayflower. And she's like, you don't understand. She's like, that's literally my favorite holiday. Like, I do things like every year, everybody knows, like my house is the house to go to, yada, yada, yada. Really powerful. And, I mean, when you look back on that, it's like, wow. There's something about it. There's something in our DNA. There's something that it's, this kind of like, they call muscle memory for our physical body, but it's cell memory for, our blood and our bone. They do remember things. So this holiday is different for everybody. I look at it as gratitude day. Whenever I would go to a dinner party, if I was invited to a dinner party, or if I had a dinner party for Thanksgiving, one of my rules was before we had dinner, everybody had to say one thing that they were thankful for. And you may want to bring this tradition to your family as well. I'm going to do my best to get this out today. But, you know, it's about throat chakra. It's about speaking your truth and saying, you know, what are you really grateful for? And I think sometimes that we forget, we get caught up in the hoopla and the bullshit and the, you know, whatever, instead of like, you know, the commercialism of it all, instead of what is really important, you know? So with that being said, I'm going to go through each one, and I want to show you the feather, okay? Because these feathers come from two of my very dear friends. I don't know if Rusty is still alive. He hasn't come through one way or the other. He may come through now. If he's gone, he'll come through that way and I'll know. I still think he's alive though, which is crazy, but not crazy if you knew Rusty. So Rusty was a very dear friend of mine. I did a temporary community living situation on a farm years ago. And every time that Rusty would molt, he's a turkey, he would leave his feathers for me and he would dance around. He was so proud of them. He was so proud of himself. We had such a good friendship. He was one of the coolest birds I ever met. He literally flew to that farm on Earth Day. Like he was a wild turkey and he was hurt and he knew he wasn't going to like be able to, you know, survive it. So anyway, I believe he's still alive. And oh, is he not? It doesn't matter. I don't want to get into that right now because we're already at 11:29 minutes. And I feel like we have so much to talk about. There's so much to say. I don't mean to rush you guys, but I have my own stuff to do today. And I'm just feeling like this kind of like we really need to get to it. So needless to say, Rusty was a very special animal. Also, there is a rooster feather there in the Seasons of the Witch Oracle. And one of my dear friends, another farm that I lived on, lost his life protecting his flock of beautiful chicks from a group of coyotes that came through. He lost his life, but all the chicks survived. So that is a badass mofo. And Foghorn Leghorn will forever, ever be in my heart. So with that being said, here is the first feather, and this is from Rusty, the turkey. My mom used to have this sign that she had up in front of her house that said, there was a turkey, and the turkey was holding a sign that said, hey, why don't you try it? Say, hey, why don't this year, why don't you try a ham? Something like that. Anyway, so that's one. That's for the answer is simple. And maybe you're drawn to every one. I don't know. Another one of Rusty's feathers, but they're so different. Aren't they beautiful? Okay. And we have the energy oracle here. Okay. And now we have the rooster feather. Ooh, it actually doesn't surprise me because it's the only witch deck here. So it doesn't surprise me that the rooster, because turkeys are all about balance. And I'll put, research the spirit medicine below for turkey and rooster, whichever. Maybe you're drawn to both. Maybe you're drawn to every reading. I don't know. Maybe you need messages from all of them. Because basically they're just going to be messages you need to hear from spirit to guide you through the new moon in Sagittarius season, So that's the Seasons of the Witch. Must be the Seasons of the Witch. That's the Season of the Witch. Okay. So we've got that. And then for our last one, the Oracle of the Unicorns, we have this feather. And maybe it's the colors. Maybe it's the way it looks. Maybe it's the way it shimmers and shines. Maybe it's the rainbow. Could be anything. So thank you, dear friends, for your letting us use your feathers today. That's a wonderful blessing. I'm going to go down a little bit so you guys can kind of see a little bit more. Okay, so take really good care of yourselves over this holiday season. Indulge, have a good time. Just make sure you take care of yourself. If you are feeling a little sick from eating too many fun foods, a cap full of apple cider vinegar in some water and like a glass of water will really help you. You could even do a shot of it and then chug the water. But it depends on how sensitive you are to heartburn. And if you have heartburn, you can use the same method. So those are just little tricks of the trade, especially if you're eating sugar or dairy. Those things really help immensely. Yeah, and my throat chakra. And I'm hearing some of you are going to have a hard time. Try not to let certain family members get in your craw. Just let it go. And you may get that vibe. I just heard 1458. I just heard some of you, another 58. So 58 is also the number 13. Interesting. And 14 is 5. So that's interesting. Okay. And 5's about change and transformation. So I feel like for some of you, this may be the holiday season that you're going to speak up. And good for you. And it also may be, I had certain moments when the last time I was home with my family where certain people or certain situations, things were said or things happened. And I'm like, nope, I'm done. I was like, I'm out. That was it. It was like the nail in the coffin. And I was like, at least for now, I'm like, I can't. I couldn't because I was literally terrified of the things that would come out of my mouth. And I know I would regret it because it was an old pattern. It was old programming that would, make me want to defend myself or say something when, you know what, I don't really need to. We don't need to defend ourselves, or, you know what I mean? It's like, if you are in a situation where you feel like you have to defend yourself, that's not a good situation for you. That's not a healthy place for you to be. Right? All right, you guys, have a blessed Thanksgiving, Gratitude Day, whatever you celebrate. And if you can, go out in nature on Friday. Don't do the Black Friday thing or the cyber or the small business. At least do the small business Saturday if you're going to do something. Support your local businesses. That's my thing with that. Support local. I really, from living in big cities and living in small towns, I am telling you, it makes a big difference. Oh, here comes Bubba. So Bubba says, hello, happy holidays, and I will see you over at your reading. Until next time, take good care of yourselves and each other. Blessed be. Oh,